Previously, we have seen that in the predictive stability class, that whenever there is a small disturbance, the system will be experiencing oscillation. And we have derived few equations. Maximum power can be transferred. Condition is x is equal to root 3r, and steady state stability limit is equal to EV by x. Condition is, what is the condition there? Delta is equal to 90 degrees. This is the condition. And we have also derived that P is equal to plus or minus square root of dou P by dou delta, delta naught by M. Right. And this was called as stiffness of the machine. And this is called as the moment of inertia of the machine. Now, and we have also derived the frequency for natural oscillation. So it will be, isn't it? This is the expression for frequency of natural oscillation. Just I have represented it as Sm. And you know the value of M. It is equal to GH by pi f. So you can write it as, normally we'll be considering only in terms of per unit in all of the problems. So this is my natural frequency of oscillations, omega n, square root of pi f into stiffness of the machine by h, where h is the inertia constant. Okay. Now, I have already told you the system can be stabilized. The system can be stabilized if delta M is positive. If delta M stiffness of the machine is positive, and by providing damping. Now, let us see how the system will be stabilized with the help of these damping. Okay. Now, I'm going to consider, we will come back to the previous expression, md square delta by dt square. I'm including a damping term. Okay. I'm including a damping term in addition to my swing equation, moment of inertia. Okay. So we had this expression. Right. Earlier expression. Yes. First of all, let me write the earlier expression. This was our earlier expression, right? So now I am including here, what I am including here, including damping term. We had this already, this damping term in the during our swing equation, isn't it? So D I'm taking this one as the stiffness of the machine. Okay, rather than writing all things again and again. So this is my expression, isn't it? So yeah, isn't it? This is my expression. This is my expression. Now I'm gonna consider it as again. So what is P in this case when I'm employing damping? Now this one, this particular term, I'm taking this damping one as, you know, this is a type of second order characteristic equation, right? What is this one? So I'm going to consider this one as 2 eta omega n, where this is my omega n. Okay. So, and this I'm considering it as omega n square. I hope you do remember these things, right? So what I'm doing here now, if you carefully see, this one is p square plus this one is 2 eta omega n into p plus omega n square into is equal to 0. You know in control systems how to solve this equation. This is the second order characteristic equation, isn't it? And if you solve this one, you'll be getting the values of eta and omega n. Omega n, you know it already. It is square root of by m. And for this one, what is the damped frequency? Omega d is equal to omega n into 1 minus eta square. Isn't it? This is the damped frequency for this. So what is eta value? Eta value we are supposed to determine. So this is eta. It comes from here. So where eta is equal to d by m into 2 into omega m. Okay. So this is my d by m into 2 into square root of delta m by m. So what I'll be getting d by 2 into square root of delta m into, this is my eta value. Okay. And what is omega m? This is omega m, natural frequency. So we can determine what is the damped frequency. This is natural frequency. We have solved the problems on this one. And this is the damped frequency. This is quite asked in IES examination. Okay, damped frequency. Even though this is not there in your UC syllabus, but if possible, try to remember this equation. Okay. You can solve problems on your own on this one. Now, there was another problem which I would like to state to you. A very simple problem, very often confused in most of the examinations. Even I got confused when I saw that problem for the very first time. Let me solve that problem now. The problem states, find the of a system consisting of a generator with X of 0.4 units per unit connected to infinity bus through a series reactance of 1 per unit. The terminal voltage of generator is held at 1.1 per unit and voltage of infinity bus is 1 per unit. I thought that this problem was very simple. He has unnecessarily asked it for 2 marks. So immediately what I have done is, for the first time when I saw the problem, I felt that okay, this is steady state stability limit. So I can directly write is EV by X, where E is equal to 1.1 generator, voltage at infinity bus is 1, but total reactance is 0.4 and 1 per unit, right? I thought that this was the answer, 11 by 14. But later I found that it was not there among the given choices. Then I've seen the key, then I have come to know that, okay, Baba, I have done a mistake. And let me see what is the mistake which I have done, which all the people do. See, once again, I'm drawing the figure. This is a generator. It is having its reactance J.4, and it is connected to an infinite bus through a transmission line. It is 1.0 per unit, J 1.0 per unit. Infinite bus, it is 1 at an angle of 0. And he has mentioned it very clearly, terminal voltage at the generator. See, this point is at 1.1. He hasn't even mentioned the angle here. And for computing stability, I do need this point voltage, not this point voltage. I do need E. Question 1. This was VT. This was V, L. So he has mentioned very clearly, terminal voltage of generator is held at 1.1 per unit. So this was 1.1, not this one. So there I got a mistake. So how to solve this type of problem? These type of tricky problems are generally asked in GATE examination. Okay. Now let us see how to solve these type of problems. So I am representing it as E at an angle of delta, and this is 1.1 at an angle of theta. This will be defaultly infinity bus, it will be 1 at an angle of 0. Isn't it? Now, let's try to solve this problem now. Now, you can see from this equation that this point voltage is equal to this drop plus this voltage, isn't it? So, same current is flowing, I. So, I into J 0.4 plus 1.1 at an angle of theta. This was the expression for A at an angle of delta. And see, in this part, if you can see what is I beta, I is 1.1 at an angle of theta. I am considering this part, minus 1 at an angle of 0 by J 1.0. So what can I write this one here? This is 1 at an angle of 90, isn't it? So can I write it as 1.1 at an angle of theta minus 90 minus 1 at an angle of 0.90. This was the value of current. If I substitute here into J 0.4, to J 0.4, it is 0.4 at an angle of 90 plus 1.1 at an angle of theta. See, if you multiply it with 0.4, what will happen? This will become this will become 0.44 at an angle of, this is plus 90, right? Theta minus 90 plus 90, it will become theta minus 1 at an angle of minus 90 plus 90, it will become 0 plus 1.1 at an angle of theta. Isn't it? This is, yeah. Now, if I solve this one, if you see carefully, what is the expression of this one? This is 0.44 cos theta plus J 0.44 sin theta. This is minus 1. This one is plus 1.1 cos theta plus J 1.1 sin theta. Isn't it? If you can separate the real part, cos theta plus 1.1 cos theta. So this will become 1.54 cos theta minus 1 plus J into 1.54 sin theta. This is the value of E at an angle of delta. Isn't it, guys? Sorry, I thought it was 0.4, right? Yeah. Right? This was the, for maximum power transfer, because he is asking steady state stability limit. For maximum power transfer, what must be the value of delta, guys? delta must be equal to 90 degrees, isn't it? For triple SL, I'm going to erase this one. See, for triple SL, delta must be 90 degrees, isn't it? If delta must be 90 degrees, that implies only imaginary part must be there. The real part must be 0, isn't it? Which means 1.54 cos theta minus 0.4 must be equal to 0. So from this one, what will I get? What is cos theta? Cos theta is equal to 0.4 by 1.54, isn't it? So that implies theta is equal to cos inverse of 0.4 by 1.54. This is my expression for theta. Now, if you can carefully see, what is my E at an angle of delta now? I have removed this one because I have made it to 0. This is 0. I have got only J value, 1.54 into sine. I have got this one. What is this one? Sine of cos inverse of 0.4 by 1.54. So this is the value of this thing. So what I'll be getting? J. So what is this one? Let me calculate. Theta is 75 approximately, and sine of 75 into 1.54. So it is 1.486. So this is 1.486. So this is, what is this one? At an angle of 90 degrees per unit. Now you can calculate steady state stability limit. So what is steady state stability limit? Now EV by X. Sin delta, delta is already equal to 90, isn't it? EV by X. What is E? 1.486. What is V? Terminal voltage was 1 per unit, but total reactance is 0.4 by 1. It is 1.4. So this is the steady state stability limit, which was asked for 2 marks in GATE examination. What is the answer? 1.486 by 1.4. It is 1.086, I think. Might be a little bit different. 1.06 per unit. Okay, this is the way of computing steady state stability limits. So don't get confused, guys. The problems are very, very simple. So we have seen in the steady state stability limit the natural frequency of oscillation, the damper frequency of oscillation, and also how to compute steady state stability limits. Okay. So thank you.